The next MicroStation facility to look at is the standards checker, which will check the elements in an open design file for compliance with the settings and standards contained in a DesignLib file. It's usually very important that all elements in a design conform to company standards before being issued to clients or for manufacturer. The standards checker will do this, provided, of course, that the elements were placed using the correct templates in the first place. Even if you use the correct templates, it's still possible to manually change element attributes out of compliance with company standards. The checker can be run on an individual design file basis or as a batch file process on multiple designs. Now, I've broken this subject into 2 videos, since the concepts are a little difficult to grasp at first look. So in this video, I'm talking strictly about the general setup and the practical application of the various files involved. Now, to help things along, you'll find a file called standardschecker.pdf in your working files folder, and it will be helpful if you open that right now, and we can work through that together. There is on the screen the PDF file I mentioned, and I'll go through this paragraph by paragraph. First of all, the standards checker can check levels, text styles, dimension styles, element templates, and line styles. Now, first, you need to create a DesignLib file containing the attribute standards, in this case element templates, that you wish to use. Now, you've already done this in the mydesignlib.designlib file, which you developed in the previous videos. So we're going to use the element template standards already created in that file. Secondly, you need another DesignLib file containing the standards to be checked. Now, please note that there are no element attribute settings in this file, as they are in the mydesignlib file. This standards file simply contains the list of standards to be checked, which is used by the standards checker tool in conjunction with the DesignLib file, which contains the actual templates. Now, this paragraph really is the confusing one. What you need to think about is that there are 3 separate files. There is the original design library, which contains the templates. There is a second file, which is a standard design file, which have used those element templates from the first DesignLib file. And we have a third file, which is another DesignLib, which only contains the standards that we want to actually check. If you keep in mind that those 3 files are necessary for this particular scenario, then it will start to make some sense. So, with those 3 files in place, the basic procedure for using the standards checker is as follows. Firstly, you create the standards DesignLib file and set the standards to be checked. Then you open the regular design file, which contains the elements. You start the standards checker tool. Having done that, you can then select which particular standards you want to be checked. And you'll see in the next video what this list looks like. You select the specific checks and the reporting options that you want to make, and then you run the tool. The tool then reports any incorrect standards, and at this point you can decide whether to fix a problem, not fix it, or simply ignore it. Now, as I said, this is quite a complex process, and there are many different scenarios you can use. The one I'm going to show you is just one of them. If you'd like to look at this subject in more depth, then I would suggest going to the link shown in the PDF file. That will provide you with quite a bit of information, and you'll also find that the help files in MicroStation are helpful, as you would expect, but don't be surprised if you find them a little confusing.